Safar. I'm a 28-year-old Egyptian rock climber. Firstly, I want to thank CES for hosting such a wonderful event. I feel honored to be here to be able to speak to you guys about my journey. I'm very, very inspired by the stories that I heard today from all the other speakers. Truly, truly an amazing bunch of speakers that I'm really, really honored to be a part of. So where to begin? My story begins back in 2015 when I started rock climbing because my best friend Adham decided, let's go to Dahab, let's go try some activities outdoors, let's try and do something different as opposed to just going to Boona or whatever. So I come back from London where I was doing my master's degree to become an accountant, surprisingly. I come back and we go to Dahab. And as soon as I get to the Wadi Gnay, which is like the main spot for rock climbing in Egypt, I get to the Wadi and I'm at the bottom of the mountain, and then my friend's like, okay, we're climbing this, and I look, and there's this huge rock face, like 25 meters, and I'm like, looking at him, I have a fear of heights, I'm not going to do this, there's no way I'm climbing this. And actually the picture on the left, this is the first time I ever climbed, and this picture was taken by my best friend, Dina Shekhar, who's in the crowd right now. She's been part of my journey every step of the way, and I'm really grateful for her. And so yeah, I start, I get a harness on. The Bedouin guide gives me a rope, and he's like, tie this. I'm like, tie this? What am I doing with this? Is this going to hold me? I was so worried. And so I tie the rope, put the shoes on, put the chalk back. I start climbing, and all of a sudden, all the noise in my head goes quiet. As a person who suffered from anxiety, this was something that was really important for me because I had never experienced this level of quiet, I mean, there's this scientific study that says the average human thinks or has 60,000 thoughts per day. 60,000, that's an incredible amount of thoughts to have. It's just noise, it's static. And so to be able to quiet that noise for me was like a sudden realization, it was an epiphany. This is exactly what I wanted to do. And so I came back down after obviously a very tumultuous journey, having to like lean back, as the Bedouin guide said. It was just a really worrying experience, but I just came down, I looked at Adam and I was like, Adam, I'm doing this for the rest of my life. This is it, And he looked at me, he's like, you know what, I think I'm gonna do this as well. And we started our journey together, climbing. I started looking into like YouTube videos, how to tie knots, how to different harnesses. Everything just became this sudden, like this new adventure that I was going to explore, and it was limitless. And actually, on the right is a picture that was taken about a year and a half ago, and you can see the difference. Like the picture on the left, I'm anxious, I'm worried, and the picture on the right, I'm more confident. And climbing gave me that. Climbing gave me confidence. It's one of the many mental benefits that climbing has to offer. I think I was very lucky to have experienced this with a sport because I'd always been an athlete. I played different sports. I played rugby, I played boxing, I played water polo. And if you can see a theme, there's a lot of aggression in these sports, but climbing actually just gave me this new sense of, like this new perspective where I could be calm, I could find peace, and I could do that through movement, There's a video I want to show you actually about how climbing quiets the noise. It's this video. See ya. See ya. As soon as you climb, everything just shuts down. And it's true, as soon as you get on the wall, you become so present that you only start to think about your movement, how your body and your mind become one to just fulfill a certain purpose, which is to get to the top of the climb. Of course, nature comes into play. Like my buddy Omar Safar was talking about nature with waves, and he touched upon mountains. But yeah, mountains. I think they have this same concept, like just nature in general. You really do experience something surreal when you're out in the mountains or in the sea surfing, like Sophie said. It's a beautiful experience where you start to look at things differently. You start to take into consideration that there are more beautiful things to kind of regard than just looking at your phone all day or watching TV all day. The world has so much to offer, and rock climbing gave me an experience the room to experience these kinds of views, this beautiful nature that I didn't know existed in Egypt. And then rope climbing became a big deal for me. So there are two different fields of climbing. There's bouldering, which is climbing without rope, but 4 meters maximum, and then you usually land on a crash pad. But then there's rope climbing, which is what I started with and was my main area of expertise in climbing. And rope climbing had its thrill, being up above the ground, sometimes 100 meters. Like my last climb, I climbed 200 meters above the ground, and it was an incredible experience, but I think a part of me wanted to experience something different, so I looked into bouldering. Now, during all this time, in the background, I was studying to be an accountant. And I started working at PwC as an accountant for about 1.5 years, and then I quit. Why did I quit? Because I wasn't happy. And the reason why I wasn't happy was because I don't think I was fulfilling my potential, my destiny. And I saw that I was so passionate about rock climbing, but I didn't know how this was going to create a future for me. But then I realized that in order for me to be able to fulfill my own potential, I needed to jump way out of the comfort zone. As soon as I did that, and by doing so I quit my job, I was unemployed. And I started thinking of ways to make climbing a career. And I realized we didn't have an indoor climbing facility here in Egypt, and I said, why not open a rock climbing gym? And of course the risks with something like that included starting a sport or a movement for a sport that had no basis here. Again, Soki knows very well the hurdles involved with such an endeavor. And I think what actually really helped me, and I know this sounds strange, but the pandemic. As soon as the pandemic happened, I was lost. Completely lost. I had no idea what the future held for me. I was struggling with so much anxiety, with so much depression. My mental health took such a nosedive. It was a very, very terrible time. Zina can vouch for that as well, she knows. But I realized that in order for me to be able to do anything, I needed to actually work on linking and combining my passion and my career. And my passion was rock climbing. And so I decided, you know what, I'm going to start a rock climbing gym. And to my luck, one of my good friends, Karim Dahab, he had some space in his mall complex. He owns this piece of real estate. And he introduced me to Yusuf Shukri, my current partner now, and co-founder. And he and I decided, during the pandemic, let's start a rock climbing gym. Of course, everyone told us, this is ridiculous, do not go for it. You're going to end up wasting money and time and effort when you could be, going for something more stable, something more, more inside the comfort zone. Again, we didn't listen. We didn't listen to our parents. We said, wait. Now's not the time. They were supporting us, and my father, bless him, and mother, they were very supportive of it, but they just kept saying, wait. They were scared. I was scared as well, but I realized if I don't risk anything, or if I don't risk the current situation, I'm not going to get a reward. And so I decided to, these are more pictures of me climbing, I decided to continue bouldering, continue climbing, and then open up a rock climbing gym. I gained enough experience and I was able to finally start with Yusuf, and this was the result. I managed to bring my dream into a reality, a dream that I had been talking to all my friends. What if I start a rock climbing gym? What if this happens? What if I actually manage to do it? And then all I needed to do was actually just put in the work, put in the effort. I needed to say that I'm going to do something and do it. And a lot of people are going to come your way, they're going to say, don't do something, it's risky, I don't know if this will work. Don't listen to anyone. Don't listen to your friends. Don't listen to your parents. Don't listen to, I'm sorry I'm saying this at CES, but the teachers. Listen to yourself, listen to your heart. Your heart knows what's best for you. You're your own best critique. You're your own best friend. You know what's best for you. And I think what helped me a lot in my life was I stopped listening to the outside noise, started listening to my own inner voice. And that inner voice really, really helped me create something beautiful. Something that I'm now so proud of. I've managed to create this movement. I'm now teaching people. I just recently became a certified rock climbing instructor as well. And now I have this opportunity to share with people the sport that's brought me so much happiness in my life. So, like, what I'm trying to say is, in order to be able to empower yourself, you need to find what makes you happy, what makes you tick. No one else is going to be able to tell you what that is, except yourself. And you know, right now, me and Yusuf, that's Yusuf, my partner, and we teach now, you know, we teach about climbing. We feel like we're giving back by educating people about the many benefits of being out in nature, about how movement in climbing creates a sense of calm and tranquility. Like I said, this constant anxiety that I've had, it was only quieted by rock climbing. Rock climbing managed to shut out all the noise. It's incredible when you find something that can do this for you, you know, and that's why I'm saying, if you have any sort of passion to become a photographer, for example, an artist, a musician, don't listen to what people say. Don't go for the, I'm going to be stable, I'm going to go for the regular job. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with becoming an engineer, a doctor. These are all very noble professions, but if you're not happy doing them, don't do them. Become something that you, in the end, will be proud of, not what other people will be proud of. Like I said, the voice inside you knows what's best for you. And in order to reach self-actualization, which is what we're all striving for, it's very important for you to listen, to just listen to yourself. And once you do that, once you link your passion in your career, and once you're ready to make the self-sacrifice that's required to be able to succeed, because self-sacrifice is super important. I had to take out a loan, I had to sell my car. I currently don't have a car, I just move around with Uber. And, you know, who knows when I'll have a car again. That's not the point. The point is, I made self-sacrifice. And self-sacrifice is very important to be able to reach the objectives and the goals that you set for yourself. To summarize, you just need to link your passion with what you want to do in life. You're going to grow up, you're going to go into uni, you're going to choose majors. It's going to be a really difficult road, but the most important thing is to be patient with yourself, to be patient with the choices you make, because they're not always going to be right. Sometimes they're going to be the one, you're going to get excited about a certain choice. Sometimes you're going to be like, oh, this is the wrong choice. But I'm here to say there's no wrong choice. Every choice will lead you to your destiny. And I guess all I have to say is good luck. You guys have been wonderful, and thank you, CES, for the opportunity to talk.